Welcome to the January 2026 meeting. First things first is we have an updated agenda. The commissioner will not be joining us today. I know, I'm so sorry. She reached out not that long ago, earlier today, and asked if February is available. I said yes, and we haven't heard back yet. So, apologies. Maybe that's why we have so many folks here. So hopefully,
Good now.
hopefully, yeah, we can have a really good meeting. Okay, so first order of business is, does anybody have any new business to add to the agenda? Which now is just looking like officer reports, committee reports.
There was my request about 2 weeks ago about the request for reimbursement.
Yes, and that is going to be in here, and it's the first item under governance.
Okay, great.
Excellent. Lisa,
Can I add? Oh,
hi, I'm Stefan. Nice to meet you in person. I recognize your eyes.
I had an announcement to add.
Yes.
Under announcements.
Please do.
And where should I do it now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Neighborhood house is within a month or two of moving, and as many of you know, we have some stuff stored in the basement. That will have to move also. And I'm in touch with the staff to try to arrange for a tour once the construction is done, so we can see the new facility and learn more about the space that might be available for us. And I'm wondering how many people would be interested in a tour of the new their new barber facility. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Great. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Julie.
For new business, can we have a conversation, and I don't know, I'll just ask, of the idea of holding 6 general meetings a year and then 6 working sessions a year, such that, I don't know, odd months are general meetings and even months are working sessions. I think what that does is it allows the directors and the board.
You're starting the conversation.
That's the conversation, sorry.
Okay, I am putting that. It is going at 7:57 today. And we're gonna get through that because I like that idea, Julie. Anyone else?
Would it be helpful for me to put the agenda displayed? Just wondering if
we can't see as many faces as well, though, is the problem.
I'm just wondering if that would be.
So I wonder if I can do this and hold on.
I know sometimes it's annoying when you have speakers, but if we're
I can do this and then I can do share. And this, I think, we'll have everything kind of close.
I mean, is it helpful? I don't.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you what I did with the agenda. I took the 23 minutes we set aside for the commissioner and just took that out, and everything else just fell into place. So I have us adjourning at 8:07. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Are there any other requests to modify the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as amended. All right, let's move on to the minutes. Are there any corrections to the December minutes?
The November minutes were not approved because there was a request to add the attendees, which was done, and then I updated the minutes from November as well. So we need the November and December minutes approved.
Okay. Does anybody have any corrections to the modified November minutes? Hearing none, the November minutes are approved as corrected. Thank you, Julie. Are there any corrections to the December minutes? Hearing none, the December minutes are approved as presented. All right, we are already down to officer and committee reports, and I will start by announcing some new committee chairs. One of our recently elected directors, Shelby, has been hitting the ground running with land use and transportation items. and will be the land use chair. And will be co-chairing transportation with me for the time being, perhaps full chair, and I'll step down from that at some point. Also, there is a new chair for the communications committee, is that correct?
Will Fuller,
He's on-
he's on mute.
Or whoever that chair is.
Okay,
Yeah.
here you go. Here you go. I finally got it. Yes, there is. I think Sarah is taking over as of
All right.
February. I will
There
still
you
be
go.
on the committee. And
I'll have that memorized soon.
That's fine.
Okay, so Sarah will be taking over the communications committee chair. All right. Outside of that, let's see here. I want to just give a quick update on kind of things that I've been doing. Most of my attention over the last month has been focused on getting a better understanding of the Multnomah Safe Rest Village. Some of it is learning its history, and some of it is learning how it's impacting the nearby neighbors. And I've had a couple one-on-one conversations with the folks who are part of our Multnomah Neighborhood Association representatives on the CAC. And I've had a conversation. I was part of a conversation yesterday with the District 4 representatives. Lisa, are you gonna cover that, or do you mind if I give a quick summary of that?
I've got like a 1-minute statement.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna let you touch on that.
But I don't know. Not for that. This is related to the finding.
Oh, yeah, okay. Do you mind if I just give my quick recap of our meeting last night? So we had the three District 4 counselors. I shouldn't say we, I was invited to it. Lisa and her champions that are looking to improve the living conditions there. I had a meeting. And the conversation was mostly around the SRV is not working as intended with regards to its impact on the neighborhood. And that I brought up as the president that the as far as I know, the neighborhood association isn't against having a safe rest village, but that is not an appropriate site for a safe rest village with 120 people at it, with low barrier, and that there potentially Multnomah Neighborhood Association could be in favor of having a low barrier facility, but not sited right next to residential properties, or perhaps a smaller safe rest village that wasn't low barrier could exist there without the impacts to the neighbors. And all three counselors were, at least at face value, seemed to agree to those sentiments and said that they were going to have an internal chat with the three of them and then go talk to the mayor about finding a solution. So the proof will be in the pudding on whether or not there is action, but my take was the counselors came and they did a good job of listening and receiving some data, and then they came up with a similar conclusion that I've come up with, which is that it's not working, and hopefully they can create the seeds that will lead to a positive change, especially for the most impacted neighbors. So that was my last month in review, mostly on those items. And then Lisa, the MSRV legal fee reimbursement is with governance. And so we're gonna tackle that a couple line items down in the agenda. Peter, treasurer.
I have a question for the
Yes.
president.
Yes.
At the end of the last meeting, you asked from directors and officers their goals for the
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
And when you have compiled those and I contributed myself this afternoon at about 4:30.
I saw that. I haven't read it yet.
But I'd love to see them. And
Great.
I think we all would, so.
Great, great, great. And I do think that there are a couple interesting things that we can go through. And I think
Yeah.
that what Julie brought up earlier might help us do that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think I made the same suggestion you perhaps have read.
Excellent. All right.
Treasurer's report, can we pull up the,
That's gonna be
the
hard.
meeting materials?
Does someone else, can someone else share those? I'm gonna stop sharing.
Let me just start in on my report. This was a year-end report. So for all the financial activity in 2025, we have about 21, almost $22,000 in the bank. And that's for the entire year, we brought in about $24,000 in revenue, spent about 14,000 of that. So we netted almost $10,000. On this report also is in the little pink box, if you're familiar with it, is our account balances for projects that have been doing fundraising, but also spending money. And this is shows how much in funds they will be able to carry forward into next year for their projects, if they plan their projects to continue. And overall, let me just summarize that there's about $15,000 that is already committed to one project or another, and about $6,000 in general operating funds.
We've lost the sound somewhere.
We overall, we operated at about $7,400 better than budget.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you, thank you. Better than budget means either we raised more money, brought in more money in revenue than we budgeted, or we spent less than we budgeted. So that combination netted us about $7,400. Another change to this form is that last month I brought a preliminary budget for 2026. That I used the same method that I used last year, which is look at the previous year and make sort of an educated guess about how those trends might move in the coming year. In addition to what I know about people's committee chairs and project leaders' plans for the coming year. And we've decided, by we, I mean the governance committee is now in conversations about ways to improve, because the bylaws call for board oversight of committees, their status, their configuration, their leadership, their membership, their scope of work, their financial activities. The governance committee is looking for ways to get the board more involved in the budget process, which is also going to mean that we'll be asking more detailed plans of committee chairs and project leaders. And Tad may speak to that a little more in his governance report, or it's definitely a conversation that has just started and very much a work in progress. And we may actually go much of this year sort of flying by the seat of our pants as we look for a new system for board and committees to work more closely. Questions? Any questions?
Thank you, Peter. Julie, secretary report.
Nothing to report.
All right.
Can I ask the question of the secretary?
Yeah.
You did an awesome job updating the board contact list sheet. And I noticed there's another tab in that workbook for committees.
Ah.
And that would be a good place to update our membership and leadership. That's all.
Excellent.
Thank you for that work though, Julie.
No good deed.
Yeah, you should know that by now.
All right, now on to the standing committees. First up is governance. And before I hand it over to Tad, I do want to bring up a motion that was emailed to me. Is that a motion? We have a request via Lisa on behalf of the Coalition for Safe, Clean and Quiet Neighborhoods near SRVs and MSRV neighbors. And what it is I'll just read a little bit of this. It says, we are writing to ask that the M&A board add to their agenda and discuss and vote on a motion at our next M&A meeting on Tuesday, January 13th, to reimburse the neighbors for the attorney fees we have paid thus far, totaling approximately $2,800. Lisa, well, real quick, I do want to talk about that for just one moment, but this motion, basically, I had some questions for Tad on this, and where this motion is going to go is I'm going to assign it to the governance committee, that also has a member of the treasury, which is Peter, on that committee, to review it, and then we need to find out if we're gonna vote for it, where that money comes from, and then what are the folks that are gonna vote on it? Is it just the board or is it general membership? And they need to, so the plan is for that to be a vote in February. And for the TAD's governance committee to sort of review it so we can make sure we're voting on the right thing and we're following bylaws and all that stuff. But Lisa, I would like to give you, if you have a minute and you want to talk about it, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so, thank you everyone for your time. As Stefan said, I'm here to ask the board to reimburse David and I, who've already funded a lot of money, in this regard, and we have pledges from neighbors for the to reimburse us for the money we paid for the attorneys. We've had 2 meetings with attorneys. One is an associate, the other was with the associate and her managing partner. And we found this attorney, my brother-in-law used to work for the city of Portland. And he recommended this firm because they are very successful against city of Portland and county entities. So that's how we found the attorneys. And this was only done after 3 years of trying through the CAC and all the other avenues available to us to get remedy for all the situations that the adjacent neighbors endure on a daily basis, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. So just a little background. To attain buy-in back in 2021, the neighbors were told the SRV would be a high barrier shelter. And area neighbors were hesitant but supportive. And then the city announced the shelter would become low barrier as an emergency response to homelessness. And the SRV at the Sears site would be temporary and on the site for 3 years. So that 3-year window ended last summer. Then without neighbor support, adjacent neighbor support, the city expanded the site from 30 pods to 100 pods. And to date, the site houses 118 people and 18 dogs in a large parking lot. It's unmanageable and untenable any longer for those who live there. The SRV 3-year timeframe expired summer of 2025. Neighbors were being told the low barrier SRV is funded through summer of 2027. That means another 1.5 years with no guarantees and no verbal or written commitment to an end date or closure, and no definitive solutions to the constant and ongoing problems. Further, the ongoing work and behind the scenes dealings by the various city bureaus to alter the zoning to allow up to 200 pods at the site is causing the neighbors ongoing stress and concern. We recognize that the M&A and the District 4 Coalition do not support the zoning change, but based on our history with the city at the site, There is little to no confidence the SRV will not expand again. These meetings with the attorneys were arranged and paid by my husband and I, and pledges from neighbors who have for years tried to resolve all these ongoing problems via every avenue available to us, to include the M&A, the CAC, correspondence with city councilors and mayor's offices, Portland solutions with little results. We are told time and again that problems will occur at and around the SRV, and we need to accept that fact. The city of Portland nuisance laws and the attorneys have told us otherwise. We are tired of feeling not safe in our homes, yards, and neighborhoods. We're tired of having to constantly report the barking dogs, the yelling at all hours of the day and night. We're uneasy, distressed, and often scared due to the numerous non-SRV participants that are constantly drawn to the area, who camp, do drugs, loiter, and trespass. No matter how much we report, the problems continue. So that's sort of my statement.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa.
And so now I'm hearing you're gonna wait till next month to discuss this and vote on this?
Yeah, we will have, my goal is to have a vote next month. And
Okay,
I want to get treasurer and governance committees input so that we handle it properly. And I wanna get a vote. I can't promise it's gonna go the right way, but I think that it's,
can we take this time then to have the adjacent neighbors who I see are in attendance have, if they wanna say anything?
I think that's for next time. Are we basically referring this motion to the next meeting?
it's gonna get referred to the next meeting, and I do want, I'm gonna make sure that I chat with the both of you so that when you guys review this, we're prepared to make a vote next meeting, ideally.
Yes, well, the committee will review it, make a recommendation,
No,
but everybody gets to vote.
yeah, okay, and then, I do want to, so, I would imagine that the commissioner who was supposed to be here this month brought out a lot of folks who I think deserve an audience in front of her, and she was not available. So hopefully y'all are available in February, in person or online, to make sure that she hears your concerns. But we have a guest in the room that wants to make a comment.
I will wait until the next.
Okay. Okay,
Can I just add one more thing?
yeah,
So we did spend this money to just meet with the attorneys. They told us that we had not only a nuisance claim for trespass, loiter, noise, and dogs, but we also have a litigation for decrease in property value. We have 4 neighbors right now that can't sell their homes. So one neighbor's dropped their property value $130,000. Another neighbor's dropped theirs 50. They cannot sell their properties.
all
Well,
right,
I'm just saying, our money spent was not wasted. We got great information, and the attorneys both said that this is real. This is a legitimate, absolutely legitimate nuisance claim.
all right. And also, everyone here and online, I've put an email for me, president at mnapdx.org. And if folks have thoughts, I would love to hear them. I want to get information from people. Feel free to shoot me an email. I would love to get everyone's opinion. Okay,
So Tad, is it the responsibility of governance to take this information and package it into a formal motion?
No, the motion is already there. The committee
But-
is simply making a recommendation
Yeah,
based on the motion.
but the motion was not in the meeting materials, was it? If it was, I missed it.
uh,
It is not.
no,
It's not, okay,
Right.
so we need to see
okay,
a written motion, right?
Formal motion at this time. There's no formal motion at this time. Right? The request was made.
Over 2 weeks ago.
via
But
email.
I'm just saying that motion has not been made yet, right? Or does that make it a formal
I-
motion because it was
Yeah.
I
requested?
defer to Chad on this.
Lisa, I will work with you to work out the appropriate language for a motion.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Chad.
So, in progress.
Okay,
Good move.
all right. Tad, you have a couple, another item here under governance.
Yes, first, bylaws amendment. This is old news by now. So. As presented both last month and the month before. Do you have this? This is, the governance committee is moving to amend the bylaws concerning emergency meetings. If approved, this motion grants the MNA president the authority to take immediate action in the event of an emergency instead of 24 hours notice, I think it was. Yeah. Afterwards, the president is still accountable to the board for those actions. The rationale for this motion is that events of the past year have proven that 24 hours is too long to wait for action in some emergencies. That's the motion. You can ask if there's any discussion.
Is there any discussion? All right. Tad, who's voting on this? Everyone in attendance, or do they have to be a member?
Everybody, that is everyone who is a member of the association, not just members of the board, can vote on bylaws amendments.
Okay. Will, do we need to take a roll call or anything to figure out who's?
We don't necessarily need a roll call. It depends on whether it's a split vote. You have to have a quorum of at least 12 general members in the meeting. So in other words, these are people who have declared that they're members and they've been accepted as members, and I haven't done a count of the members at this point. But
All right, let's do a quick count.
Looking at the number of people, we could take a show of hands. Who is declared a member and has been accepted as a member? Raise your hand.
That's 12.
We have 12 right here in the room. Well,
What? There's 12 right here.
12
Okay,
in the room.
we have a quorum then. Okay. At this point, we could call a vote. I don't know whether a roll call is necessary. Could be a
No,
show
let's
of
call a
hands.
vote.
It's up to you.
Call a vote.
Simply ask all in favor, say aye.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 And they say all opposed.
Nay.
All opposed, say nay. And looks like the ayes have it. Your bylaws passed. Tad, good job. All right. Next, Tad, are you doing this next piece or am I?
Yes, two
Okay.
more motions. And very excited to present these. The governance committee moves to fill the vacancy of one of the vacant director positions with David Worth.
All right, excellent. Yeah, is there any discussion?
I object.
Smart. Let's get him in. All right, if all who are in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. All right,
All right, welcome aboard.
congratulations.
And one more, slightly more exciting. The governance committee moves to fill the vacancy of vice president with Shelby Campbell.
Quick discussion, I'll start. Shelby, let me know that she is on a out of town work trip and has a work dinner at this time, which is why she can't be in attendance.
Oh, she was embarrassed to be here.
She doesn't even know yet.
So, yeah, she doesn't know actually. No, she volunteered and I said, that sounds like a great plan. So, any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right.
Christopher's like,
Shelby is now the vice president. Fantastic.
Wow.
And still co-chair of land use.
She's gonna be the chair of land use and co-chair of transportation.
Transportation.
Correct.
Wow.
All right, Tad, anything else under governance?
Yeah, we have been working on, well, we started a conversation about updating the election procedures, which were written under the old bylaws. We're still doing that, but our new priority is the motion just presented by the CAC committee. So that's what we'll be working, that's our priority for, the February meeting.
Can I clarify? The motion is not from the CAC.
No.
It's from the coalition of, there's
It is.
Thank you, in quiet neighborhood
Yeah.
there, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, and that's what part of what we'll be discussing to clarify the motion. And finally, just an observation that with the two filled vacancies, we still have 4 director vacancies. All of the officer positions are filled, but 4 director vacancies.
Okay, Beth Omansky, also emailed me saying that she is not feeling well and will not make it to the meeting. And she's our District 4 coalition liaison, so we're just gonna go right through that. Next is going to be livability, Friends of Spring Garden Park, Village Park.
It's me, it's
Okay.
Julie. I did send an update to the board and then added that update to the shared drive. And one thing I did want to mention is that the livability committee has grown. There's I think 5 of us now. Which is wonderful, and we're just now trying to schedule monthly meetings. And I think what we'll do is we'll put on the public calendar where and when we're having those meetings in case people want to come and join and have a cup of coffee or a beverage or something. Two things I just wanted to bring up is that we have a huge M&A MLK Day of Service Solve Trash Cleanup event this Monday, the 19th. It's for 40 volunteers. We're already at 32 or so there's probably about 8 more slots available. I can put the link in I can try to put the link in the chat.
I'll put it in.
You can go to Solve website and then search MLK, or Sarah could add it. It is for a frontage road between 5 Freeway and Southwest Barber near Fred Meyer. It's an actual dump site, and it is going to be so much work, and it's going to be very satisfying. So if anybody's looking to get really dirty from 10 to noon on Monday, you will have some before and after pictures that you'll be very proud of. The other thing I wanted to mention.
Is like the Taco Bell?
It's behind the Taco Bell.
That's the doggy daycare setting.
It's all behind that. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, we'll have some amazing pictures. It'll be great for the messenger.
I hope you have full tie back.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
Maybe.
So the other thing I did want to mention really quickly is that Metro normally puts on a dumpster day event for each quadrant in the city of Portland. They have no funding and will not be doing it this year. I know this because I reached out to them asking how proximate their dumpster day would be to the village this year, normally done in spring, and that's when they explained that. Some people may remember that 2 years ago, M&A put on a first annual dumpster day. We call it a bulky item event because we try to move things from the dumpster, and it was really well received and it was really helpful to the community. So it looks as if we will be putting one on in August, and it's going to be massive. So we will be putting together a big crew of volunteers to do coordination. Metro will be funding a grant. There will be all sorts of moving parts. So if anybody's interested in spending some time this summer kind of helping put together a really awesome community event, and it's going to be a huge fundraiser as well.
Nice.
Treasurer. So those are the exciting things that come to mind.
But not on Multnomah days.
I'm thinking the Saturday after Multnomah Days, so we remind all our neighbors what to do next Saturday.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it.
All right, Will, you're up on equity.
here's my screen. Okay. Well, equity is having difficulty finding things to spend money on, but we're not having difficulty finding things to work on. We have our updated report I just put into the meeting materials talks about the things that are different from last month to now. And one of the most significant things is we are starting something called a reading challenge. It was actually put forth by Diane Parrish, who is really, I believe, one of our new members of the Equity Committee. And you can go on our website, okay, there you go, the 2026 Reading Challenge. Thank you. And take a look. Just go to mnapdx.org/equity, and you can learn more about it. When she gets back, I think she'll be able to come to the next meeting in February and tell us a little more about it. It sounds really a lot of fun. The other thing that's happening is we're doing some specifics around protection for immigrants and refugees. A lot of the organized things like protests and trainings and so on are being done by other organizations, and the trainings are really pretty full up. So what we're doing is we're doing two things. We are supporting specifically Stevens Creek Crossing people who didn't have anything, but there are a lot of immigrants and refugees to learn their rights when ICE might come around or something like that. They requested some little whistles to blow if the ICE does show up at the place and other activities. So we're working on that. And the basic SWEC, let me back up. Okay, SWEC activity is basically we're going on the usual things, but it looks like the money, which was federal money coming in for their community garden, to the tune of about $3 million, has been allocated, but I will find out about that on Thursday when they have the general meeting for the SWEC, and we'll learn more about that. One thing I did want to highlight is if you go down to right there, supporting MNECAC reps, we voted a while back to oppose two zoning amendments that affect the property for the MSRV as the Safe First Village. One is a rezoning the property from a technical zone that allowed the armory to be there to what they call a CM2, which is a mixed commercial and residential zone, which would also allow the Safe First Village to continue, if necessary, without a zoning variance. So we oppose that kind of continuing work, especially because we don't believe that the CM2 zone would allow the site to revert to what it was designed to be in the first place, which is a West Side Emergency Marshalling Center. The second is RECAP 11. I love these acronyms, Residential Infill Process, which puts a cap on the number of people in a place like the SRV. Well, it was 60 at the current zone or CM2. That would jump it up to 200 units. Under discussion, when it came to the Planning Commission, that was dropped down to 100 units, but each unit can hold 2 people. So essentially, a Safe Rest Village the size that we're talking about now is inappropriate, would be allowed with this change in the zoning. So we're opposing that. The testimony on the AHOP is coming up on the 27th before the city community, where is it? The City Council's Homelessness and Housing Committee. There is testimony open now, and you can go onto their website or onto our website and get a link to where it goes. And that's enough for now. Good. But
Thank you, Will.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe Friends of Spring Gardens, I skipped over.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Okay. We have a quick updates. The van that had been at the top of the park, in part, it was broke down and for a couple of weeks, it's finally been towed. So that was a long time coming. So there's some trash that Pam is getting organized on figuring out how to get that picked up from that van that had been parked there. Secondly, the Friends of Spring Garden Park were meeting on the 15th from 1 to 2 over Zoom. So if you're interested in the park, come join us. And lastly, we have a porta potty that's at the top of the park that is there through the winter. We are doing a trial basis with Portland Parks and Rec. So we are seeking feedback. If you have used it, if you find it helpful, please let us know so we can continue to have it there and have it be a good thing for people to be able to use during the winter months. Like that. Yeah.
Question, when you were wrestling with the issue of the van, did you guys reach out to Southwest Outreach? And do you know about Southwest Outreach?
I am just reporting. I didn't see Pam here, but I know that she went through it had been reported several different times, and I only just saw a note that it had been.
I head up for outreach and we weren't aware of it. Was somebody living in the van?
I believe so, yes.
I believe so, but it was broken down and there were some issues
Yeah.
with getting it towed, so I know that it did finally get cleared up.
It's just a really sad miss, because we could help people. We could contact PDOT. We
Yeah.
could maybe help them get towed to the Washington County sites where they can park legally. So now their home has been towed and impounded.
I don't know the details of it. All I know was Pam was more on the front end of it, but that it had been reported through various channels. Yeah.
Just so people know about Southwest Outreach, and Mary, I think you're the chair or the
No,
chief honcho.
we're a mutual aid organization, but in Cindy's absence,
So it is a 501c3, right?
We have 501c3 status
Status.
through an
Yeah.
entity that is.
And it's a group of
Their umbrella,
maybe a dozen volunteers, you tell me,
45.
45 volunteers. And these people are in touch with people who, if, I like to say, if tents had doors, these people would be knocking on the doors. These are people who are still unhoused, and Southwest Outreach makes the effort to find out what they need. Is it warm clothes? Is it food? Is it a new location? And really, these guys are doing the hardest work of all, I think, and I really thank you and your team for doing it. I think they know and work face to face with about 70 people, unhoused people between Multnomah and the river.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we don't keep stats.
I assume
like that.
Yeah,
The city knows about y'all though, right?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay.
yeah.
Cause I think that multiple people had to work through like city commissioners it wasn't a couple weeks, it was like
Couple
four
Yeah.
months or so.
Yeah.
Like right next to the playground, and I was getting other cars started to,
I mean, the thing is,
Those
we're a
brown.
group of Southwest Portland neighbors helping our unhoused
Yeah.
neighbors.
Mhm.
So we definitely have a different vibe with people. And you can report things to 311 and you can call the commissioner and, the contact that unhoused folks have with all those people is really quite threatening and usually
Mhm.
leads to rapid
Mhm.
response coming in and sweeps and. So I'm not saying we could have solved this person's problem, but we can reach out with a friendly hand. We could share neighbors' perspectives
Mhm.
to them.
Anyway,
And
thank you for being a
for
resource.
real help to be relocated without losing the only roof
yeah.
they have.
Mhm.
Can we put Southwest Outreach phone number in the chat,
Sure, yeah.
right?
And I think Southwest Outreach is in our resource,
Okay.
say,
Contact information.
yeah.
Great.
We meet here
Anyway.
we're here on Tuesdays running a day center here at Village.
Right, this is the showers on,
This is the new Riverscape, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. Free showers every Tuesday afternoon. Are you doing Laundry Love too? There's once a month where
I
doing
mean,
laundry?
there are members of Southwest Outreach who help with laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, thanks for doing what you do.
sure.
Real quick, Village Park, any news from Village Park?
I also put it in the notes. What's nice about what's happening with Village Park is they received 2 grants over the last few months, which is going to lighting, a memorial bench, which I'll propose some help with M&A for a memorial bench to Moses Ross.
Oh, that's amazing.
Permanent, stage and some other things. I don't wanna steal Tom's thunder, but, all sorts of wonderful things are happening for the summer concert series in 2026.
Excellent. Okay, transportation and land use. Shelby and I are just gonna take a pass on this one. I've not done much in the last month to move transportation forward, and I know Shelby's done a lot for both land use and transportation, but we'll make it up next month. Public safety.
Is Sandra there?
Okay.
Yeah,
Mark?
here he comes.
Yeah, I can barely talk. I'll put something in the chat.
Oh. Sandra is sick.
Okay. Mark, do you have a question? I see your hands up. I don't know, maybe you put it up earlier.
I did for land use. Will has previously taken the lead on the AHOP, Affordable Housing Opportunities Project in the RICAP. Will Shelby also be involved in that? And I'm specifically thinking forward to the January 27th. Or what sort of participation will be happening relate to that?
A great question that I don't have an answer to, but we should figure that out. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm writing a little note here to myself.
When's the meeting?
Will perhaps you, me, and Shelby need to have like a quick meeting on that?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, okay. Mark, are you interested in that?
I am, but I'm a neighbor that's getting their circulars, so I'm an affected neighbor. So I'm wearing a different hat.
Oh, you are already, yeah.
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Sandra, if you could read what Sandra said.
Oh, yeah.
In the chat, so he doesn't have to.
perfect. Sanjuro has been building an incident reporting system for the adjacent neighbors of the MSRV, which has taken up most of his time. He's also asking for anyone who might be interested in joining the Public Safety Committee to contact him. It would be great to get some help in serving the neighborhood. Thank you, Sanjuro.
And by the way, a committee loses its authority with less than 2 members.
I know that feeling.
Only the chair that's.
That was me on
There's only a
transportation
chair, it's a
basically
one-man party
till last month.
or woman. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up is communications. Sarah.
Will submitted this one, might as well
Well, you're the new
finish it
chair.
out.
Will, do you have communications updates?
I sure do. We have a report. Basically, what the communications committee has been doing is communicating with each other, getting coordination among the messages, not relying solely on the monthly publications or Facebook or so on, but more creative ways. But there's some possibility if people want to do it. There are these 2 monthly mass mailings that go out. One is our messenger, that's our internal, which goes out to about 1,200 neighbors. And then the District 4 Coalition has their monthly Voices, which covers all the neighborhoods, but we have a page or an article in those voices. We agreed in our last communications meeting to have all the months laid out with a different theme for each month, but so far we haven't had volunteers to do it. So I'm doing the next one, which is sort of an interim. But we would be quite happy to have people come and share communications with the general public as an editor of either of these monthly publications. So I'd say that's basically what we could talk about as a public thing. We meet monthly on the 3rd Wednesday at 1 p.m. on Zoom, and the link is embedded there, but if you go into the communications webpage, there's a link there as well. And
Willie.
Sarah, thank goodness, finally somebody is heading communications that knows something about communications. Radical thought.
Hey, this is Julie. One thing, that Will just brought up about kind of somebody volunteering to, to lead the messenger and voices for a month. What I did was I thought about the year, and for me, for livability, I feel like the month of, um, um, February is gonna be good for me because I'll be able to communicate the MLK Day event. And then September, because the August dumpster day. So I went in and volunteered for those two and then reminded my calendar to put some time to put some thoughtful information. So for people that are on other committees, if you wanna think about what impactful thing, what part of the year means something to you, and going to the drive and picking a month, that would be helpful to, many hands make light work.
Excellent. All right. Then the MSRV, CAC. Which one of y'all is doing any reports this week or things to discuss? Yes,
It's not me, it's either.
Macy.
Yeah.
Looks like Macy.
Um,
Unmuted.
Here I am. Let's see. Well, first of all, as you may know, the Safe Rest Village had two feasts, I guess, or events in the holidays, one around Thanksgiving, one around Christmas time, and supported by friends of the Multnomah Village SRV. And so that was really great. And then, of course, we always are dealing with the issues and on continuing problems surrounding the SRV. One of which is canning. And if you're not familiar with that term, that's like folks who go out and find returnable cans and get money for them. And that can present a problem in terms of noise within the SRV and for neighbors. So we just have discussed ways, we discussed in our last meeting, ways to alleviate that. And I think that Damien, who's the director of the SRV, has communicated to the guests that, you have to be mindful of noise and the neighbors when you bring in your cans, and they're trying to educate folks so that they're not as noisy, basically, which is the problem with the canning, or at least one of the problems. Of course, we've had an ongoing discussion about the Good Neighbor Agreement, and I would say it's not exactly on hold right now. We know that the city has agreed to change the basic things that are obvious, such as the change from Sunstone Way to Urban Alchemy as the contractor. There are a couple of other things that are just real obvious that need to change that I haven't heard anybody have any objection to. But as far as any further changes beyond that, that's kind of up in the air, to be honest, right now. We'll just kind of put it a little bit on the back burner, I think, for the time being, until it gets a little clearer what direction we should take. It's those of you who worked on it, and I did not. But those of you who worked on putting the Good Neighbor Agreement together in the first place, I understand it was a pretty onerous activity, and by the time that it was, like published or whatever, it was like, we got to be done with this. So we want to be careful that we're being mindful of proper input and being able to do things without it having to take a long time. And so for now, we're just kind of see where that goes, I think. Let's see what else. We're also, as Sanjuro reported, thank you very much, Sanjuro, for continuing to work on a kind of, so we call it sometimes a heat map, but basically a listing from all the nearby neighbors of incidents that happening in that affect them and that they need to report. We're looking for an easier way for them to report them, and that doesn't take as much time, and they don't have to wait around as long for answers, and it goes directly to dispatch. And there's a lot of things that Sanjiro's been so good at trying to figure out how to handle, and I think he's still figuring that out a bit. So it's taking a while, but we're hoping that that will eventually be a great way to keep track of incidents, what type they are, how many there are, what the trend is, one way or the other, so that we just have factual information about what's going on. And so that's something that is ongoing. And then finally, I really, really want to make a point, and I know the other 3 members of our group do too, that 3 of the 4 folks who are in our group are retiring from their positions. Well, their positions will be ending this coming June, I think. So we're really looking for neighbors, particularly near neighbors to the SRV. I'll be the only person left, and I'm like the junior member, don't know much about much of anything yet. So I'm really looking for some help with this. And just please give it some thought if you are interested, or if you know particularly a near neighbor or adjacent neighbor who is to the SRV who might be interested in joining us. We have some good discussions. We really try to drill down to some important things, and we need all perspectives. And so just want to put that in your hat for thinking about for, the upcoming elections. That's it, I think.
All right. And thank you so much, Macy. And I just want to repeat what that last point, which is, yes, we'll have 3 members retiring, I believe, at the end of May. Is that correct? Yep. And so starting in June, ideally, we have 3 more folks. So the neighborhood association has 4 folks that get to participate in, is it a monthly meeting, Macy?
It's
A monthly meeting with
Yes.
Multnomah, the city, the Safe Rest Village operator. Originally the county was involved, but they are not participating anymore. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then who else participates in those
The
meetings?
school, I think.
The school.
Mhm.
Westfield
So-
Christian School.
Christian. Yeah. And as you said, the city folks, the folks from Urban Alchemy who are actually managing the SRV.
I have a question.
Yes.
So guests of the SRV, residents of the SRV can become members of the MNA, right?
Yes. Assuming the
So they would-
SRV is
they would
within
really
the boundaries.
To apply.
It'd be great to
on
have
the
their
committee.
voices in the meeting.
I mean, I just find these conversations so
Disgusting.
disgusting, I mean, these are 90 to 118 of our neighbors. Many of them that I know went to Wilson High School, when it was still Wilson. These are our neighbors.
What is it?
I find that canning thing just blows my mind.
Because we're talking about human beings like they don't matter and they don't deserve to exist because we have to change our lives in the tiniest
I
bit.
didn't hear anything that
I
was said
heard a lot of that, but
in this meeting where it talked about
Yeah.
people as if their lives don't matter.
okay. You and I are hearing different sides of the same.
Okay, let me just say that for myself, and I believe the other members, there's 3 folks. I have always come into this whole big job, frankly, that it is to be on this group, but it's very important with the idea that we care about everybody involved. We care, and if it sounds differently, that's not our intention. We are trying to help with neighbors' problems that are real in a very difficult situation. But that doesn't mean we don't care about the guests of the SRV. We absolutely do.
I think that the 2 of you can help educate us, and either of you would we would welcome your voice.
I was on the CAC
Okay.
for a year. That was the term I signed up for.
Okay.
That's why I left last summer, because I did.
I think it's important to have,
I'll be a member next month, or after this meeting.
if you.
So then I will be
Did we lose sound again?
I just heard you, Will, for the first time in like 2 minutes of hearing anybody. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think people on Zoom can hear each other, but we can't hear the main room.
Oh. I don't know what to say.
There was an interesting discussion going on in the main room too. I'm sorry to miss it.
Exactly. Looks like they might have realized it.
Mind of what?
I think they realized that the sound is out.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for sharing. So, sorry, remind me your name? Becca. In addition to Becca, we'll still need 2 more people. We might have lost audio because my computer decided to restart. Can you guys hear us online? Or
Yes, we can now. We couldn't before, but we can.
So, we do need folks to participate. In my last meeting with the 4 members of the 4 members from the neighborhood association that participated in that meeting, the feedback is, and I think that is a diversity of opinion of those 4 folks. The feedback is that it has been making good, positive changes. Is that correct, Lisa? I think I tried to ask, or Mark, the actual CAC meetings with the city of Portland and the school. It hasn't remedied it, but there has been some positive changes that it affected.
In a year and a half, we got half the lights turned out.
Yeah.
That's all we've gotten done.
Okay.
There's no progress being made.
Okay.
I mean,
well, sorry. I thought that I didn't know that we talked about the good neighbor agreement not being effective at all.
We don't have perimeter security like we asked for. We have it randomly 3, 4, 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
We don't have any things in the good neighbor agreement.
Okay. So, sorry to get us off track, but I just want to repeat what Macy says. We need folks to participate, and
I need to say something.
Yep.
Because I want to honor what you're saying, but I need you to hear what I'm saying.
I heard what you said.
But I'm going to say it again.
I would like to.
I went to Mary's house, and Mary lives by Gabriel Park in this beautiful home that's quiet as can be. She's never impacted by the work she does.
That's not true.
I mean,
I have people go through my recycling.
Okay,
Thursday
I'm just saying
like
that the reason that people are speaking up is because we've been doing this for 4 years. Monica has pods in her backyard. She can't sleep. These are real issues for the very adjacent neighbors, and that's why we're asking for help.
I understand that, Lisa. I also think that the people who live at the RSOB are our neighbors.
Right, and you know what else? And we found out
And
today
the
that.
CAC should not just be this myopic.
Right, but more importantly,
we're only looking for complaints, because I canvassed that neighborhood with you, Lisa, and we had like 2 complaints and lots of people saying, I'm so glad they're here. I'm glad the city's doing something.
Yeah, they're not affected. But what we found out
They
today.
are affected. They appreciate the fact that there is shelter being provided for their neighbors.
Like locking curtains and
But here's what
machines in my mouth.
I want to emphasize, because I was in the meeting today with the city and the operator, and what we're learning more and more, and we've never said it was the SRV, but what's happened is, and the city will acknowledge it, and the operator acknowledges it, we have a huge influx of people to the area that don't live there. That is the problem. The school today, the school said we've had 6 weeks of problems. So I'm just saying, we have never said it's the people at the Safe Rest Village. We have said it's the perimeter is dramatically changed and affected by that being sited there. That's what we've been saying.
Okay. So more discussion later, but we'll need 2 more members starting in June.
June 1.
Excellent. All right.
What's the application process?
Yeah, we did talk about that.
So we're gonna draft a marketing email and we're gonna have all the application process attached to that marketing email.
Yes.
And that's on me and I can't get to it till the weekend.
And are you the person who's in marketing?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then
I expected
the
to.
body that chooses, is it, like, when I applied, I sent a letter to the board of the MMA.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be me personally or the board as a group. I'm not sure. Ted, you'll have to advise me on that.
Okay.
I'll tell you, my goal is to make sure that we have diverse viewpoints. It's not just like 4 people on one side of the.
Well, the good neighbor agreement calls for 2 immediate neighbors and 2 more distant neighbors.
Right.
Okay.
Which.
Right.
All right. So, new business. All right, we're talking about changing some meetings to just working sessions and not having them be like neighborhood report meetings and such like that, which I think is a great idea. Anybody want to discuss this? Anybody have thoughts on this?
This is Julie. I just wanted to bring up that I had learned about this when we were looking for different ways to be efficient in being a board. And I don't remember if it's Maplewood or if it's
Hayhurst, I think.
Hayhurst Neighborhood Association that does it. So they were the ones that outlined that they use their monthly meetings so that one's, an opportunity to have a general meeting, and then one's an opportunity for the board to get together and, figure out how the sausage is made. And it feels like that's appealing to me. So that's the idea, at least.
I'd vote for it.
Right?
Same.
Yeah, I would like that. That would be fine for me too.
Does it have to be a motion, or does anybody feel like there's anything negative about it?
I mean, are the meetings would be open to everybody?
I don't know
We're
how.
not
It works.
having
I don't know
like
if
a
I don't know if
closed
working
door.
sessions. I don't think working sessions have to be public, but that's a governance question.
Governance.
I'd like to read something from the
question.
bylaws. Under regular membership meetings, it states regular membership meetings will be held at least 10 times a year at a regular day and time set by the board. The membership shall advise the board of current concerns and possible actions. Notice of regular meetings to members and to the public must be at least 7 days in advance.
Okay.
So it sounds to me like, well, you as president can reformat the meeting any way you want, but if it's still a regular meeting, it has to be announced and the public has to be.
Okay. Well, I'm all for there being every other month cadence on a meeting that goes through a format similar to this, and every other month the cadence is a little different, potentially more informal, and possibly to be determined. But who all is interested in brainstorming with me what the other type of meeting would look like? The sort of get stuff done meeting.
One of the reasons I was asking to see what kind of feedback you got from the directors is because there may be some ideas in there about what are the topics that the board needs to talk about, like how do we do our business, how do we operate the organization.
Well, what's really interesting is going through all these committee reports is how many different avenues folks that are volunteering for the neighborhood association are actually doing stuff between all the different parks committees and livability committees, and it's a little overwhelming, to be honest with you, as the president, just hearing about all this great stuff we're doing in so many different places, and no one's getting paid for any of this. It's all volunteer time. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening.
You can add me to the list of people who
Okay.
would be in it.
Julie, can you
Some brainstorming.
send out an email to the 5 of us?
Yep.
and maybe we can do some email exchanges.
It looks like there's a couple of hands raised
Oh,
online too.
excellent,
Yes.
thank you.
Don't have visibility to that.
Hi there.
Macy, Patrick,
Okay,
Am I on?
Patrick, you're on. Go ahead.
Thanks. So having run a lot of meetings in my life, I really appreciate the concept of a working meeting. However, I would strongly advocate that these meetings not be closed. They can be open in a different way than the general meeting is. And I would strongly encourage there be an opportunity for input, that an agenda be published, so people in the neighborhood know what's being discussed at the board meeting, and that there's an opportunity either in person, if that's appropriate, or written, if that's more appropriate, for the topics that are being discussed. Because you would not want to create either the impression or the reality, which is a risk, that the neighborhood association is less participatory, less open to input, with less engagement by the neighbors. It would be a slippery slope if that were either the impression or the evolution of these closed meetings. So I understand the nature of a working meeting, but I really don't think it needs to be or should be a closed meeting without opportunity for input from the neighbors.
thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
I actually totally agree. I love the idea of keeping them open. It might be a little bit more boring, but
Yeah.
but
I was gonna say, if we make the
I do like
agenda
that.
really boring.
No, and I think too, I mean, I don't wanna have to go through updating the bylaws. We'll just have meetings, and I think we'll have maybe a different style meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I agree that they'd be open.
great. Next hand, who's got a hand up? Macy,
Not anymore, I don't. I was just
Okay.
raising my hand to say I would be in that little group that you were asking about.
oh, did you hear
Bring it
that?
on.
There we go, great.
Will,
Just real quickly, I believe that our bylaws, not our bylaws, but the ONI standards, which we covered, requires the meetings to be open,
Great.
that people can participate. And what may be changed and controlled is if it's a board working session, then the people who are working get most of the input, but certainly not a closed meeting. That's been really an issue all along for suspicions, as Patrick talked about, and other things. But I think we have to have open meetings.
Excellent, thank you, Will. Maybe that'll be the topic for our next meeting, we'll see. All right, is there any new business that wasn't covered yet tonight?
There was some language that said.
Question,
Board.
just a question, if I could. Sorry that I came into the meeting late, so, but I assume you noted that the Commissioner Moyers is not able to come tonight. And I believe we've decided if she's available, that she'll be coming next week. Is that correct? Or next month? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay, just wanted to verify that.
all right, and I'll make sure I can try to, Thank you so much, Macy, appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All
the
right,
bulletin board question was for me as a comms person, but also still newer to Multnomah. Is there a Multnomah bulletin board similar to like what you find in Hillsdale, like a place where you can post things?
A physical place.
A physical place that says like, hey, Spring Garden's having gardening, or we're looking for new recruits or whatnot. Like, is there such a thing that exists?
Great idea for the village.
Village Park.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Right, I can tell you historically what we've done is we have went old school and created flyers and then gone to the businesses that have their own, and put them in the windows and stuff like that, but there is none. But I think that and we'd be the boss of Village Park too, so we wouldn't have to do what the Portland Parks requires you to do,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think the stage, if it ever materializes, it would be a great place for it.
All right, anything else we haven't discussed today? All right, since I'm not hearing of any more business, meeting is adjourned at 8:18 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Low barrier means that there are no